What is up? And welcome to another episode of the All Basketball Podcast. And once again, I'm your host, Maurice Dixon. And this time around, we got another episode of Carolina Got Something to Say. As you can see, the jerseys behind me for all of you watching on YouTube. And we got Henri in, like I promised on the last episode, that Henri and Mike will be joining me and maybe somebody else. Native of the port city, Wilmington, North Carolina, where the greatest player to play professional basketball was not born but bred. Henri went to the same school as Jordan Laney. But yeah, but unfortunately, Henri's a Duke fan. I'm a Carolina fan. Even though we're the best of friends, knowing each other, wow, over 40 years now. And since I had something to say first about Carolina, specifically the Tar Heels, I'm gonna see how Henri's feeling about his Blue Devils. Currently ranked like 12th. Couple of losses in the ACC, a winning record. A good amount of guys back: Roach, Filipowski, Proctor, Mark Mitchell. I think I'm saying it right. Got a couple of guys back, a couple of new additions. But Henri, talk to me about your Blue Devils.
All right, man. Well, thanks for having me on. First and foremost, thank you, for the opportunity. So yeah, man. So for the Duke, we're number 12, and a couple of losses in the ACC. I think think overall record we lost 3 or 4 games. The last game, Roach was missing as well. Well, not this most recent game, but the last game we lost. Well, Roach was missing, and as well as Mark Mitchell, who is, I think is probably probably one of our best defender. So not having him, really hurt us that last game. I don't, right now at least early on, I'm not a huge fan of Shire as far as like developing talent. I think that he doesn't do a good job, as good of a job like right now, like maximizing the potential of these highly rated recruits. So I saw that last year. It's like, with that recruiting class, you know, should have maximized it a lot better. As far as the player stats and stuff like that, they should have done a lot better. And now we have this year, and you know, Filipowski, he's had some really, some good games, but he hasn't been like as dominant as I would expect him to be, on a game by game basis. And so sometimes we have like players who will disappear and stuff like that. And so I think defense has been doing fairly well, considering like last game we had to go to a small lineup. But still, I still think we should have, won that game. But so yeah, so that's where we at right now.
Talking about the game against Pitt when Hinston lit y'all up for 24,
Yeah,
77 for three.
exactly. Yeah, and so yeah, I definitely think that we should have beat Pitt, but
Didn't y'all just, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, well, like over a week, 11 days earlier, y'all whipped them at Pitt on
well, see,
ESPN, right?
I think so. But again, like Mitchell out, so um, yeah, it was almost he could get almost anything he wanted to. So, and I think like last year we suffered too because Mitchell was out. And like whenever he's out, defensively we take a big hit. Just playing like if Mark Mitchell is out, so that's how it's been trending right now. So
So the guy hits and stood up on the scores table where all the crazies were. I just watched the video just to see it,
wow.
because I heard about it. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he was hearing some things. But he, I mean, you can't. Was it? How do you feel about it? I mean, he showed out that night. Pitt had won there in, I think, since the '70s. It was some crazy stat where the amount of years they had gone, and they hadn't been to ACC that long anyway, though. So
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, he showed out that night, so he had a big night and everything. I can, so I give him that. It's not like it's a consistent thing though for him that I've seen at least. where he's going to be like, you know, scoring scoring a whole lot every single night, like this consistent big time scorer. So, but he got the best of us. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think they say he was their leading scorer. I mean, Pitt, Carolina beat him as well, so he's I think we got to play him again. He had a career night, and sometimes you have to have those career nights to definitely win at Cameron. I mean, hey, Hansborough, Psycho T, 4-0 at Cameron. I mean, Carolina great. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he didn't beat Duke every time, but every time he went to Cameron, the Psycho T was
Oh man,
too much for the crazies.
so Psycho T, that guy.
Go ahead and hate on him.
I mean, I mean, he was, I give him credit. He was a great college player, and he hit some tough shots and stuff like that. Some of the shots is how is he even making that? When you see that, like the lack of athleticism and stuff like that, it's just like, how is this guy even dominating down here? So it was just, I don't know, it was just weird. But he was a great college player. I do give him that, you know. So
yeah, I think he's number one at Carolina for points.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He was consistent too. So not only it wasn't like he was just like great one year. He was consistent. So
Yeah, because when I saw that list, it was him, Perkins, Baycott just moved into like fourth place. I don't know why I can't think of who number two is. I don't think it was Phil Ford or Charlie Black. I think it seemed like it was somebody before our time, but I mean, he
Baycott's
did
been there
it.
for like 8 years. I mean, he should, he
Yeah,
should
5
be
years.
he should be up there like pretty high.
Yeah, Baycott, man. Big guy, I mean, control the glass, get a few blocks here and there. Awkward offensive game too, don't get me wrong, but he gets it to go in. Two-hand dunker, he's really not punching on guys with one hand, or he lacks a certain amount of athleticism, but he tries to do a little stuff like where he goes downhill, and I'm just like, dude, steal your man and make your move. We don't need you. Like in that championship game, you trying to go downhill and dribble, you turn your ankle, even though the floor kind of popped up. But that's not your game. I know that's the new age thing to do. They want these big guys to be able to make moves and, be able to fake a dribble handoff and take it to the basket like a guard. But some people just need to stay in their lane. In this game, everybody can't be this outside shooter and let's face up and let you go to work. No.
Yeah.
Seal your man, get some post moves, get a jump hook over each shoulder, and he got a nice spin move, but he does sometimes if he doesn't hook or get called for the hook, it works sometimes to his advantage. But he's he's playing well enough right now. I think he could be better. I think he's still getting his double, but he's not jumping out to me like before, I don't think.
Yeah, it seems like to me, and you can tell me better. It seems like he has digressed. Like he was like this dominant force like 2 years ago, and now I guess he's still good. He's still a really good player and definitely has to be respected. But like now you got Davis as the guy. Well, I would think that he would have still been the guy, like even more so now. But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems to me that he's kind of like gone backward a little bit. What do you think?
Yes. Well, I know we have more of a balanced attack with the additions of Harrison Ingram and Cormac Ryan, and the guy Withers gets some playing time. Sometimes he starts. Davis has been lighting up, and he's not a shooter, but he's really good at getting to the hole and just making a good play, playing good defense. And you got Trimble competing, but Yeah, man, I'm looking up his stats so far. 19 games played. He's not giving me an average, but he's shooting. His shooting percentage is down a little bit. Let me see overall. Yeah, 55 last year, 53 this year. So not much, but still got a few games to play. But yeah, he's still, I guess, right around his average
And I can
because
understand
it's
last
saying
year with
yeah,
oh my goodness, what's his oh goodness,
Caleb Love.
yeah, with Love, I can see it taking a dip last year. So I think with Love leaving, I thought that he'll be more aggressive. I'll say that, this year. But maybe that's not how the coach is, the way the coaches
Yeah,
go.
I think it's ball movement's better. More guys can get their own shot. It's not just Love or Davis create. Nance, you spot up. Puff Johnson spot up, and we hope he has some shots. Black spot up, we hope he has some shots. It's, I mean,
Yeah.
Ryan, Ingram, even the guy Wojcik they bring in, and then Davis. I mean, they can burn you. I mean, you think it's going in when they shoot it. So I just think the ball movement's better. It's a lot more trust there. Not totally putting everything on Love, but it's a different team too. So I don't want to say it's everything about Love or say, well, as Mike would say, well, the team is better because Love didn't play defense. Now we're playing better defense. Taking one sample out of a whole. I wish he was on here, but the upgrades are better. I mean, they've really utilized Coach Davis and his staff, the transfer portal well, man. I mean, getting these guys with experience and they got some skill in there. I mean, even though we got transfers before, but like Manic, probably one of the biggest, or Cam Johnson, another huge one. But it didn't work out for Nance. But these guys, it's working out so far. I mean, we won what, 9 straight games, 8 straight games.
Yeah, I mean, and that you bring up a good point because like, you hear about the transfer portal a whole lot when it comes to like college football, but it's utilized too in college basketball. So that's a good example there of how the coach is able to blend the younger players or current players with some transfers. Yeah,
Yeah, because I want to get back to ask you if Duke has some transfers because I know the guy I mean he can be a factor when we play. Y'all. I know McCain. I think McCain and Foster are both freshmen, right?
yeah, they're freshmen.
Yeah. So and McCain can shoot it. So and I guess Foster can too. In that pit game, he shot pretty well, and I'm pretty sure. I mean Louisville wasn't a challenge, but probably played well in that game too. But I don't know about they don't. If I'm not mistaken, did y'all get any good transfers?
I mean, we had some transfers, but that's another thing is I don't think that Shire like utilizes the bench real well. So, and again, I think that goes back to developing that talent. You know, and so you hear about like the same players. So like, Mitchell, Mitchell's out, then now all of a sudden your defense is like real subpar. Struggling against a team that you should beat, but you should have somebody else on the bench with length who could challenge and stuff like that. So, but instead you went with a small lineup. You had guards and Filipowski. So yeah. Um, so I mean, the guys um, that we could be utilizing more, I think we don't utilize them like we should. Now again, it's not like Coach K used the bench very extensively, but he was really good at maximizing the talent, especially of like high recruits. If you were a top recruit, he was going to maximize your talent. So
Those guys. I mean, y'all might go what usually go 8, 7 deep, but
Yeah.
Everybody who look like they can play, they pretty much played.
Yeah.
It's probably a guy or two out there you feel like busted out or got out of there, but I can't think of. Said like O'Connell, maybe he comes to Alex O'Connell. I'm saying that right? I know
Yeah.
he transferred out. I don't know how high of a recruit he was, but um, maybe somebody like him. But what's up with I see he's getting the minutes, but why doesn't Proctor start?
Well, Proctor was hurt, so Proctor was out for a little
Oh,
while. So, they're probably getting him back into the rotation there. So that's what I'm thinking. But with Roach hurt, I mean, Roach played the last game we won, um, but they said that when he went on the plane, he was in like a boot or on crutches. So he's still not like you know fully healed. So I don't know if Proctor going to be starting again, or what. Because I don't even know if Roach is going to be ready for the next game. He said I guess he played the whole game, but he was obviously in pain. I think he went back to the locker room one time. I think so. I think he went back to the locker room. I know he came out one time because he got his foot stepped on. But yeah, so
okay.
we'll see how it goes with Proctor.
So and Roach, I'm kind of starting to hate him. I mean, he's a solid player. I mean,
Yeah, I mean he's a solid, good like ball handler. He's able to like steady the team. So he can hit big shots for us. You know, um, so I think that's what his main thing that we're using him for right now. He can score too. Like he can get hot, as well. But most of the time,
mhm.
it's just having that veteran, presence there, especially at point guard. You So
So I see this is his senior years. I guess he can use the COVID year and come back, right? But what is this
uh,
COVID year stuff gonna run out?
yeah, I don't know when it's going to run out.
It's like okay, but I mean it's a way to get around it because I mean a lot of guys with this NIL and stuff, and I mean you could be a grad. I don't know if you can stay and be a grad because I'm trying to think is Baycott grad or is he graduated? Is he a grad student?
I think
Because in
he's a
summer you
grad
can get
student.
another year. So but he got they say he got the COVID year. But if you're a grad student, you have to go somewhere else usually, right? And get that
You know,
fifth year. Because
you may be able to stay. That's a good question. You may be able to stay where you at and get that fifth year. I don't think you necessarily have to go leave. Um,
hmm,
yeah, you don't necessarily have to go because I just thought about it like the guy. This is football, but the guy in
hmm.
Miami, like the tight end, I think he said he's coming back for the next year, and I think it's like his seventh or eighth year. But now he started at Oregon, but then he came over with the coach, but because of like injuries and he missed time for injuries and stuff like that, and then the COVID year. So yeah, he's still at Miami. So I'm sure he's like got a degree. I don't know how many degrees that dude got by now.
Well, I mean, since they didn't put pay into it, I mean, it's not the professionals, but I figure if you can stretch it out, stretch it out. I mean, because I mean, the pros obviously aren't guaranteed. I mean, that's another level wherever whether it's basketball, football, baseball, and some other sports. I mean, that pro level. So if you can squeeze all the juice out of that orange, so to speak, but and play. I mean, some people get mad at it, but I guess it's just like, well, I mean, if you can play as long as you can, play as long as you can, right?
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it's a better deal because I mean, think about it. Okay, you get a nice NIL deal. Let's say you playing college basketball, and they're willing to pay you a couple $100,000 a year. Well, that's better than like what second round, or if you don't get drafted, Now you're looking at the, G League, and but you're getting paid more in college with your NIL deal than you would in the G League. So it can pay off for some players, especially if you're not
Yes.
considered like first round and stuff like that. Then you really have to think of really think about it, because the second round in it. So second round NBA, that's not a guaranteed contract, is it?
Nope.
Yeah, see, so it's not a guaranteed contract. While here you go, you have something here, you know, guaranteed. So can't blame them for that. Thinking that right.
Yes. It's like real quick, the girl Iowa, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
She got all kinds of endorsements in NIL. So it's almost like they said even if she goes to the WNBA next year, she still wouldn't make what she's making now with all the
Yeah.
endorsements. So
Wow.
I mean, I know the WNBA wants her to come, like, and I may even watch a little more. I mean, I'll watch here and there, but when it's on prime time. But I'm curious to see how she'll play at the next level. But if you're balling out, I mean, you're on ESPN, you got these deals with all these sponsors, and you're getting paid. I mean, why rush your way out?
Yeah, you're right.
Because I mean, I'm not sure what year she is, but it's not. I can find it. She's I mean, she made me watch. I definitely watched her in that game against well, both games, the championship, but the game against South Carolina when she went off. I mean, she can. I mean, she lights it up, man. I mean,
Yes, yes, she does.
it's pretty impressive. Like she's definitely the female Steph Curry. I mean, she got a lot of awards. I mean, okay, so she projected to be the first pick of the 24 draft. Okay, so she is a senior. So, but I guess she can
Okay.
use that COVID year.
Okay.
So it's kind of a catch-22. I mean, do you? I mean, rack it up. I mean, the WNBA is going to be there. Now, if you get hurt, maybe you don't get as much. Maybe your career's shortened or hindered in some way. But I mean, I guess it depends on how she look at it.
Yeah, it depends. If they're willing to give her, like, if she able to get even larger endorsements, then yeah, I can see that.
Because I'm sure the endorsements are there. I mean, with the WNBA, it's just the fact that okay, you don't get that many people to watch.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to get more men, and I mean, honestly, women aren't into sports like that. So I mean, you obviously you gonna maybe just get what you get. I mean,
you're
men we
right.
watch, we're into sports, so even though it's other men we watch, we just naturally, or that's kind of the way we're wired. Okay, I want to see competition, or I'm
Yep,
prone to like sports.
that's right. Yep.
Women, they're not like that. And if you want to get more people to watch it, but then I mean, I guess they can't complain but so much if their own sex isn't watching it. I mean, I don't. I mean, you get what you get. I mean, the NBA helps you, and now you have to sacrifice. And you go overseas, you get paid. I mean, but if you don't want to do that, then maybe you just have to accept what you want to get. I mean, the world hasn't changed, say for your benefit, but
Mm.
people complain about this and that. But I mean, I'm a sports writer, and I mean, the industry has just changed. I mean, people just got cut out. I don't know if you heard recently, but SI just the the group that was over it or something didn't pay some large amount of money, billions of dollars. So the other group said we're just gonna shut it down. So all these people got laid off.
Man,
So that I mean that's SI like Sports Illustrated.
that's crazy.
I mean, Michael Jordan leads in covers. Muhammad Ali right behind him. You got
So the whole thing
they
is just
hit.
shut down.
They're still gonna have the website, but I mean, as far as the magazine, yeah, they have numerous layoffs. We'll see if they can do something to keep it afloat. But
Wow.
a lot of writers been I mean, hit with the axe, and even before that, they were criticized because they had artificial intelligence write articles in some way. I don't know if you heard about
No,
that.
no, I didn't hear about that. But I'm not surprised though.
Oh, so you hit to that with the like I guess certain algorithms can just write articles and
Yeah, exactly. You know, and
so
yeah, but you're supposed to still, I guess, check that stuff. Because it can be, say, if it's plagiarized or who knows. You know what I'm saying? Um, but if they're allowing it to write most of the articles and they're not like doing any checking and stuff like that, then yeah, that's an issue.
that is. So well last point on Carolina Duke, I see y'all got Clemson this week. Should be at home. They got some good players, some guys I personally seen here in Georgia where they were in high school. The Hunter, there's a couple of guys on there, Hunter, Chase Hunter and Dylan Hunter. Saw them play and RJ Godfrey saw him play as well. So they play y'all Saturday, and then it's crazy because just looking at the schedule, I mean, after that you got Virginia Tech on the road. Then y'all come to Chapel Hill, baby, to get their business. I mean, it's Saturday, February the 3rd. I mean,
Yeah,
it's, it's
how we've been playing. The hard thing is, I used to be able to be like, okay, we got that in the bag. We got that in the bag. But so now, I thought we had the pit game in the bag. I'm like, okay, I just keep up with the score. What's the need of me even watching this thing here? Um, but nothing is guaranteed with us, right now. So um, hopefully we can, uh, you know, go on another win streak and then and face you all. I think we can be healthy by the time we, at that Carolina game. Then should be all right. But it really depends on the health. So especially with Roach and Mitchell, and of course Philip got to be there too. But we can't afford him being in foul, like getting foul trouble, in that game either. So, um, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting matchup, against Carolina.
yeah, it is because y'all swept this last year, so no, we don't need to, we don't need to
Yeah,
continue that streak after we. You don't get swept after you end Coach K's career in the Final Four. You don't come back, and especially with the expectations we had of recreating that Sports Illustrated cover and everybody coming back number one. We don't even make the tournament, and we don't go to the NIT, which I was like, yeah, they just end the season. This it's
yeah,
been
that
enough
was,
pain. Like
yeah,
we,
that right there was colossal failure right there. Come on, yeah,
I've
that's
I've
all.
seen enough. Caleb Love bricks, bad shots. Nance can't shoot. Leaky Black still don't have a jump shot. I saw enough. Davis was solid. Baycott good here and there. Saw enough. Puff Johnson. I mean, hustle guy, but can't shoot. I just it was just no NIT. We did make the tournament. We Kansas got the best of us. We were just had 20 more minutes to play, and we would have been champs. But played the right way. But it was it was end of the season. That was it. That was enough. Fans saw enough. It wasn't. I'm not with. Have some heart, show some resiliency. Maybe you build some momentum for the next year. Maybe you do, but nah, this has just been bad, man. Just end it. I mean, just
Yeah, I don't,
like
I don't mind that. I don't mind them saying, you know what, yeah, we're just gonna end this here. Um, you know, for a team with such high expectations, then yeah, I don't blame that. If you're just happy to get to NIT, like if you're a team that's just like, oh man, I'm just happy to go to the NCAA tournament, then yeah, NIT, you still okay, I'll go to that, because just to get into the tournament, you were happy to do that. But nah, if you're number one team and you expected to um, you know, be be there at the end where you are top seed and potentially win it all, then something like this happens. Yeah, I don't blame him for skipping out.
Yeah. Ni- nice to hear you agree. I mean, I couldn't even argue the other way. I mean, maybe on the resiliency point of building something for the next year, and especially since most guys, Love, Baycott, and Davis could come back.
But how?
But
But I mean, but how is going to the NIT building something for Carolina for the next year? Like, I can see if this is like East Carolina or Coastal Carolina. Like, okay, we're building something for the next year. Going to the NIT. Like, I don't see how that's like building something
well,
for the next year.
well, I want to say one year, man, they like it was back in those. Was it Kendall Marshall? Dang, I was looking at it. But one year they went to the NIT and they almost won it. I know um, Zeller played. Zeller was on the team. It might have been Henson Barnes and them. They went, and the next year they came out. So it was like, I mean, it's good for storylines because I mean, okay, the NIT ends and you don't play. That's what March. You don't play again until November the next season. So I guess it's something the coach can say to you and inspire you with, but more so than anything. But I think one year it did kind of help you now. Or like if you're a young team, you got a young core that you trust and they playing pretty good. Okay, it's nothing wrong with more reps, more real game competition because you get the extra. Okay, you get that little pressure of okay, if we don't win, we're out. You get a little taste of the one and done model. So
I mean, I
I
get
guess
yeah, I get that. I mean, if you're a young team, okay, possibly, but you coming off of a championship run, like where you played in the national championship and you lost, like the next year was supposed to be redemption year, because you had all these people coming back. You're highly ranked. I think you all started out number one.
oh yeah, we were
Uh,
ranked number one. Yeah,
yeah, so you ranked number one. The players are coming. They're back because the expectation isn't to make the tournament. The expectation is to win a national championship because you didn't win it, the previous year. So, anything less than that is like, okay, it's a disappointment, but you definitely expect to at least get to the final four. But to not even make the tournament, yeah, I mean, off of a redemption year, yeah, that's a tough one. So I can see like, okay,
yeah,
that's
because
it, man.
I mean, much credit to that 2016 team when Villanova beat us, Jenkins with the shot at the buzzer. I mean, Page doesn't come back, and Bryce Johnson don't come back, but everybody came back. Jackson, Barry, Meeks, and Hicks, and maybe a few other guys, and then they made a run. I mean, they
Yeah,
finished the deal.
yeah.
So yeah, so I mean that was some serious resiliency. I mean because you were within. I mean it was right there, and it was okay. You're thinking at least get overtime. Dude just ends the game like Buster like just ends the game. But yeah, it was yeah. I'm totally with you. I mean, an experienced team, and if y'all got issues, it's something clearly not right. Because Love transferred. I mean, he would have came
Yeah,
back. Something
yep.
something wasn't right there. I mean, he's looking pretty good at Arizona. They're playing well. It seems like he has some guys he trusts, or they have a pretty good team. Came to Cameron and won, so
I still don't trust Love. Like I don't
I
know,
wouldn't
like
either.
yeah, I still don't trust him because you know he can. But when he's hot, he's hot. But boy, when he's not, like he's still gonna keep shooting. So even when he's not hot, like, and it can end up hurting the team.
Yeah, he still takes some of the shots. I've seen Arizona play a little bit, but he's toned it down a lot, I guess, because maybe different staff and other guys he feels like he can trust them, or maybe the coach is like, we're gonna not do so much of that. We gotta if you're not hot, don't keep shooting, dude. I mean, you're not. It's been proven that you're not going to catch fire and get you. So you're not Jason Tatum. I mean, now Tatum do that, but what was that game? Was that game 7 or game 6 last year against Philly? He was
Uh,
real off, and he just hit like 3, 4 straight threes, and he closed. Yeah, I think it was game 6 in Philly last year. He saved their season to an extent. I mean, you're not. That's not you. I mean, y'all from the same place. I think Love's from St. Louis too, but that's not you. Maybe, but
yeah,
right
that's
now
that
that's
too.
not you. But yeah, as far as Carolina, we got home against Florida State. No, at Florida State. Then they actually come here to Atlanta to play Tech. Florida State game that the streak could end there because they're on the 9-game run right now. Davis was outstanding against Wake in the second half. I thought Wake was going. I feel like Wake was maybe on the verge of getting this, but second half, then those guys just came out on fire, man, and just
Yeah, they do.
showed that Wake y'all ain't in the class, y'all ain't in the same class division right now. I mean, we run this thing, so but I didn't know Wake was having a pretty good season, so. And then February 3rd, we got y'all at home. I want to bring up this last point, but I was thinking about like the nostalgia. I kind of miss those Wednesday night Carolina Duke games, even though we don't have Jefferson Pilot Sports or whatever local station that would come on with the ACT network coming into play. But I don't know if you missed it too, but it was something special about, even though you might have to stay up a little later or it would come on at 9. But that Wednesday night game, it was just, and they just kind of took it away and put them both on ESPN on Saturday. It's kind of,
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know, there's something about those later games, like you said, during the week. Even though it's during the week, and you like, you staying up for it and everything because um, and it's Duke Carolina. There's nothing else like it. So um, yeah, I get it. It's like watching I guess a great game, like on great Thursday night football game or Monday night, or what I'm saying, like,
mm-hmm.
or it's even though it's late, it may be a later game, but you still stay up to watch it and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. I mean, 11. I mean, not too late, but
yeah,
I mean, never for me. I mean, some people kind of should be, but not really for me. But yeah, I kind of miss that. Kind of hate that went away, but like anything, times change. So Carolina's ranked, like you said, third in the nation. Wow. Came in like 17th.
yeah. I
They
must say, I never thought, never thought I'd see y'all at number three this year. So, and it could go up higher because a lot. I mean, you could end up number one because a lot of teams have been,
mhm.
losing a lot of top teams. So,
Yeah, because right now it's just Connecticut and Purdue ahead of us, and we lost to Connecticut, pretty good game. We lost to Kentucky. We beat Tennessee, so we have beat Oklahoma. We have beat some good competition. Um, I mean, Connecticut might. I mean, we'll see if they make a run. But still a lot of games left. It just seems like Purdue's just going to be ranked high again and not make it very far. I mean, do you kind
yeah,
of see that happening again? I mean, this is that can
yeah,
be.
I see the same thing happening because once you get to the tournament, a lot of it has to do with matchups. So with team matchups, and so they, I can see them getting matched up against the wrong team, and where Edie isn't able to make a big of a as a big of an effect. So if that happens, they're done.
They're done. And I mean, Connecticut kind of came out of nowhere last year, so but they did get up to number 2 And then they went on to run the tournament. And I just kind of knew at a certain point, I was like, yeah, Connecticut they about to get this. People have kind of forgotten about them. Got caught up with Carolina, and it may have been another team. I think Houston, which is still ranked pretty high. They were kind of like people kind of got caught up with them, and probably Kansas too, because they were the defending champs, and they brought
Yeah.
a decent number of guys back. So, but
They got hot.
yeah,
They got hot, man. So that was it.
yeah, because they play in the Big East. I mean, their games come on FS1, but
Yeah.
the Big East is not. It's been falling far from grace. But what else we got? I was thinking the funny thing was just because didn't Jim Boeheim he retired last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it was seeing Syracuse not play as much zone and somebody else there. That was kind of interesting to see, man. I was like,
I haven't watched Syracuse this year, so yeah. Wow.
I seen them a little bit. They're all right, but yeah, it was just like they were playing man to man, and it wasn't this
Wow.
zone. I mean, this dude Boeheim coach was pretty much our whole lives. Like this dude,
Yes, he did, man. I mean,
he's,
good gracious.
and one title. I mean, Carmelo got him that one, but won a lot of games. But excuse me. Now it seems like is that going to be the same thing with Calipari? But Kentucky isn't getting as much. I know they got Wagner, DeJuan Wagner's son, but they he got him in riding that one title and all that type of talent he got in the league. I mean, it's kind of like, dude, you need to. Well, it's been over. What was that? 12? It's been like 12 years since. I mean, you would think he would catch another one.
Well, it can be tough getting top talent to like sync and play together. That's one thing. Like when you have these high recruiting classes, now you got to get everybody on board to like play together and try to play together as a team. Where you talking about 5 guys with NBA aspirations, and to be top, high picks, so they're looking out for them. They're trying to look out for themselves. So you got all these, egos, these top guys, and then you got to try to mesh that together into a team. So okay, that everybody plays together, and it don't all it don't work out a lot of times when you see, especially in college. It don't even work out a lot of times in the NBA when you have like putting together big threes and stuff like that. So. So it's kind of like almost like the same thing.
Yeah, because it was. You just made me think about it. They were close in 17. Remember when Luke May made that shot against Kentucky when they had Bam Adebayo and Malik Monk.
Yep.
I mean that was a real good game. Monk hit a big three, then pretty much Luke May came back down, Pinson handed it off to him, and he drained it. I mean, now that team probably would have won it. But so I guess you got stuff like that. Then when he had it was Towns, and when Duke beat Wisconsin in 2015. Kentucky was undefeated, and they lost to Wisconsin. Frank Kaminsky, and so so they've been there.
They went undefeated in the regular season, right? Then they go. Was that the year they went undefeated in the regular season? Okay.
Yeah, they didn't. I think Booker was on that team.
That's it.
And he didn't even like play like that. But I guess it was. But I don't like when people. They give college coaches to take some of that criticism off of them. Some of those guys don't become like Booker wasn't Booker that he was at the NBA now that he was in college.
Yeah.
Towns was a defensive player. I mean, some guys don't really blossom till they get to the NBA court. And so now people can't, you have all this talent, but one, the games are differently. The games are officiated totally differently.
Yeah.
Certain schemes you can run, defenses, and it's just different. Like, so to criticize somebody totally, oh, you have this talent, you only got this many championships. It's almost not fair sometimes to do then too, because it's not the best of series. It's you got that
And
one game to win.
you're
And you got to
right.
win 6 straight.
Yeah. And everybody's trying to, knock you off, especially when you like um, highly ranked, or you're a blue blood and stuff like that. Like, come to tournament time, you probably gonna get the, people's best game, because they're trying to number one just win a tournament game, and then to knock you off is that's what they're trying to do as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the that's the that's what they shooting for. They nothing else will make their day better than knocking
That's
you
right.
off. Maybe even more than winning it all. Like, oh, yeah, we knocked them out. I mean, 16 over 1 or 15 over 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, so you can't criticize them fully, but excuse me, I know the Kentucky fans are somewhat antsy. I don't know what his contract is looking like, or anything of there. If there's really any pressure, how much is he riding off that title? But it's kind of like Kentucky's known. You should have another one. I mean, Patino he got 2 and 3 years, and then and then I guess until Calipari won it. So no, did Tubby Smith win one? No, he came close,
No,
right?
Tubby
Because
win
Patino
one.
won in
I can't remember.
'96 and '90.
You know what? I can't remember if Tubby won or not.
Or did he win in '98? Yeah, he did win in '98, right? Because Patino was gone. Yeah,
Okay.
he won with like Scott. Was it Shepard or something like Jeff Shepard or something like that?
It was some Shepherd. I forgot his name. I know you're talking about that. Man, I forgot about that. I forgot that he had won one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got that one. Yeah, Tubby Smith. Yeah, because they beat Utah. Because
Okay.
that's the year Utah beat Carolina. Yep. Okay, I don't know why I'm thinking Patino. Now Patino got the other one with Louisville. Okay, but Kentucky they was there. They just didn't. Arizona got in the way, and then he regrettably went to the NBA.
Yeah.
Boston stuff was like, nah, you can go back to college, man. It's not working.
Yeah, it's a whole different beast when you go to the pros.
It is players
Level of control.
as we just saw. I mean, Griffin, you can be 30-13, Adrian Griffin, but if the defense ain't right, you ain't getting along with Giannis. First year,
Right.
Hey man,
Hey.
we got huge expectations. We're gonna have to show you out. Yeah, you get paid your money, but we'll get in Doc we trust.
Switch. I mean, I don't see things going any better at all with him. So, I mean, regular season, yeah, but I think postseason is going to be the same results.
I
With
see
Doc.
that too, but I think he has the play. If he don't get in a certain situation, I think he has the players that will get him over the hump. Because Giannis has been there before, and Dame's clutch. So I think his players won't. Now he had Kawhi. Kawhi didn't get him, but I mean Joel Embiid, James Harden, Ben Simmons. You can't. They're different people in the playoffs.
Well, yeah. I mean, last year, Embiid was hurt. So when he got hurt. Was in the playoffs. I think he got hurt. So
As
he
usual.
was. So when he came back, he wasn't the same. So but yeah.
So it hasn't been, but he does have the most blown 3-1, 3-2 leads. And, I mean, one championship, but I didn't. I'm not high on it, but I think if anything, he got a decent chance with these guys. They're running the right matchups. They'll get him over the hump, and he may get them over the hump. Because I mean, he did it in Boston, so but it was tough, and they were close against Kobe. They took Kobe and them to 7 games that next time around, and then they had a pretty stacked squad though. But it's I don't. I mean, the superstar one. He wasn't confident in what the coach was. Defense got bad. He said, we're gonna give up this. He was up there. Giannis was like, we're gonna give up threes, or we're gonna give up something in the paint, or we're gonna let post. It was like, when you hear stuff like that, like, yeah, if you don't get it together,
Yeah.
like, hey man, we got a lot of pressure. We're built to win right now, and
Exactly.
so you don't have the resume, or you're not Phil Jackson, you're not Greg Popovich, you don't have the backing like Spoelstra had for a while. You're not Larry Brown. You got to go, Pat Riley.
And and players have to take responsibility too. So I mean, last year playoffs in that game, that final game with the Bucks. I mean, look how many free throws Giannis is missing. So. And then at the end, did he? I don't think he got a shot off. I don't even know.
No, he was that when Grayson Allen Euro stepped with the time going out. That was that game, right?
Yeah, because he passed the ball. Like, what is he doing?
And then Giannis acted like the ball was on fire. He tried to get to Middleton, and they threw it away. It was just this bad meltdown, and
it was
in a winnable game where you at least extend the series.
Exactly.
Where you maybe turn the momentum the other way, but I mean, they got Dame now. He had a big shot not too long ago to end the game.
Oh yeah.
No time left, so he can solve that issue. But they got to get the defense.
Yeah.
Their defense was good last year, even though they don't have Holiday. Their defense was good, and you can't. But simply in the NBA, you don't have the trust of your superstars.
That's it.
You don't have the resume. People get mad all they want, but you getting the axe, man. That's your team, but your boy Giannis was like, he wasn't for him.
Yeah, right. So
not for him. But yeah, man, this has been good, man. Carolina got something to say. Episode 2, finally got Henri in here, man. My good long time best friend. That's all, man. We gonna go ahead and call it here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Enjoyed it.
Glad you did, man. Good catching up with you. We'll see how everything unfolds, and we'll see how February 3rd turns out. Duke, Carolina, Part 1.
That's right. Hey, go Blue Devils. Another sweep.
No. All right, man. I'll catch you. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. No problem. Thanks.
Peace.
All right.
And yeah, folks, that's all for this episode of the All Basketball Podcast, specifically episode 2 of Carolina Got Something to Say. We had the homeboy Henri coming in to give his thoughts on how he feels about Duke this season. Been a long time Duke Blue Devils fan, opposite of me being a long time North Carolina fan. We'll see how it unfolds. Both teams have games this weekend. On the 27th, Duke plays Clemson, and Carolina visits Florida State. Until then, once again, I'm your host, Maurice Dixon. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Till next time, peace and be blessed in Jesus' name.